would be domestic consumption, 40% maximum will be export. Why? Because the export environment is risky. It's fraught with risk. Remember, you cannot preempt, you cannot forecast, you cannot predict a political environment or an economic environment in Burkina Faso or in where's that? Swaziland or in Nigeria. You cannot predict how long that fellow is going to buy from you, but you can definitely predict your domestic market and how it's going to move. I strongly advise you, gentlemen, in the business of exports to not base your exports on more than 20% of your annual turnover. You're smiling, sir. You agree or disagree?
With me, it's other way around.
That's why you're on sandy soil.
No, I'm turning it around.
You better do. And the faster the better. And this holds true for all products. I hate that word EOU. The number of EOUs that are shut down, I can't count them, even with a computer. Because the EOU business just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And ultimately, in the long run, they've only lost money, they never made money. Because, remember, most of the EOU guys are competing on just one thing, and that is price. And remember, you cannot beat a China on price. You cannot beat a Bangladesh on price. You cannot beat a Sri Lanka on price. Because if labor is an input, those guys are providing inputs at a fraction of your cost. You cannot, if you're looking at scale, you cannot match a China for scale of production. Okay? Because they've got the whole government behind every company. Here you've got the entire government against you, even if you're SME. Alright? So you're fighting, you're swimming against the tide here. You can't compete. So 80% of your business should be the domestic market, 20% the export market to be happy. Maximum you can run a risk at 60-40 max. Anything more than that is recipe for suicide. Okay, I'm sticking my neck out on this one. I hope there's no one from the Export Promotion Council here. But this is my life's experience. I've seen people close down. So many of my good friends and clients have closed down with their garment exports, with their stuff like that. Sad story. After a lot of hard work, after producing wonderful products at great prices, they've moved out of business after 10-15 years, having made no money. That's not good. That's sad. Okay, we move into territory management and stuff here, which I don't want to go into because I think we're out of time. We're terribly out of time because I promised 4:30 and it's 4:35. But I'll very quickly do a last segment. Are salespeople born or made? What do you think? They're made? Sure. Salespeople born or made? Tejinder, what's your opinion? You've been a sales guy all your life.
They are made.
They're made? You think I can take anybody and convert him into a sales guy?
No. No, don't try that.
You don't try that. Okay. 80-20 rule will apply. Arlene is hitting me on my head with my own stick. Okay. What are we saying? Yes or no?
No.
Yes, sir? Yes, sir? You have an objection? It's made only.
Otherwise, there is no point in having this kind of...
Yeah. Well, you see, if you ask my opinion, I think you need to have an aptitude for sales. Because it's a very tough profession. There's a lot of disappointment. It's a thankless job. If you do well and you achieve your targets and you do 100% of the target given to you, your boss will only say, okay, next year we'll increase the target by another 25%. He rarely ever says thank you for that. Okay? And if you don't achieve your target, you're doubly damned. He says, you better start looking for a new job because I need a new sales guy. So, if you do, you're damned. If you don't, you're doubly damned. Now, it is quite a thankless profession. Having said that, it is also a profession where every company depends on you for survival. Because that's the only department that brings in the revenue. All the other departments ensure that it goes out efficiently. So, it's like running a home without a breadwinner. Can you afford that? Can any home run without a breadwinner? No. So can any company survive without a sales department? No. Can you survive without a salesman? No. Even if you're in a monopoly business, you can't survive because there's no such thing as a monopoly business anymore. So, it is a challenging job and it's for risk takers, it's for people who are adventurers, who would like to go out there and explore the unknown, who would like to go to places they've never heard of before. If you don't mind sitting on a charpoy in Jumritalaya, drinking out of kullad and eating a parle-ji with mosquitoes snapping at your ankles at 7 o'clock in the evening, then get into sales. But if you like the comfort of your home, then don't get into sales. Alright? Because selling is more something of will rather than skill. It's all in the head. Okay? Like I always say in my other seminars, I have another topic I'm working on. It's called cryptodynamics. It's a new technique that I'm developing, or rather I've developed, the art of programming your subconscious with a goal which will propel your conscious mind towards that goal without me even knowing about it. So, isn't that great? What's your name, sir? Satinder is smiling. He says, I have so many such goals. Right, Satinder? Great. I'll teach you the art of programming your mind using a cryptogram, what I call, which will drive you towards that goal. The only one problem with it is, most often, you hardly ever know it when you reach that goal. But you do reach there, with a guarantee. Okay. But that's the topic for another day. It's your attitude that determines success. Selling is an attitude. It's going out there, first of all, with a positive note that yes, I can do it. Like I said, when I was, my first thing in training, I was told that, listen, unless you're sure that you're selling the best product in the world, don't step out of this office. If you have even a doubt, a 1% doubt about your product, don't go out there and make an ass of yourself. And I'll say this to you. Every product has certain value or worth, otherwise it wouldn't exist. For every product, there is a better product. There is something superior, something lower price, something more efficient. But for every product, there is also a certain set of customers and consumers who are waiting for you to approach them. Like I say jokingly, you know, if you're talking of love and marriage, even the most beautiful women in the world get married, girls get married and get divorced, right? And even the simplest looking plain Jane will find love, correct? So it's just a matter of the right person at the right time, and the same holds true with products and sales. A customer and a seller fit is like marriage. It's like finding the right person at the right time. So there are people who buy Bond biscuits and are happy buying Bond biscuits, and there are people who buy what fantasy? What fantasy? Dark fantasy biscuits, and they love dark fantasy biscuits. And there are people who buy those Danish cookies, and they love buying Danish cookies. And there are people who buy hundreds and thousands of rupees worth of business. Can you tell me which is better than the other? There is no better than the other. You have a set of customers who love their Bond, and you have a set of customers who love their Danish cookies, and never the twain shall meet.
You cannot cater to individual taste.
No, what I'm saying is, you got to find your market.
Yeah.
You got to find your prospect. The problem is when you're selling to the wrong guy. That's the time problems start. And you say, nobody is buying my product. But you can't go to Europe and sell Fair and Lovely. But you can go to Europe and sell sunblock, right? So whose fault is it? Those guys not buying your product? Or you selling the wrong product to the wrong guy? Correct. So similarly, yes?
One example is of Milo, sir. Milo was the world's largest instant energy health drink. It was selling somewhere around 20 cups in a second. Somewhere in the world it was being consumed. But in India it flopped out. You never know. A thing which is doing well in some other country may not be good.
One man's food is another's poison, they say. You're absolutely right. What sells in India might not sell in other places. What sells in other places might not sell in India. Success formula to be a super sales champ, what do you call it? Unstoppable sales champion? Tough mental attitude. A burning desire with clear goal and action translating dreams into realities of potential into profit. It's all about looking for a new challenge like Don Quixote every day. It's all about looking for a new mountain to climb. It's all about looking for a new problem to fix. Someone was asking me in the break, see, how do you have so much of energy and so much of joy and so much of happiness in doing what you do? And you know the answer? I love to fix problems. I love to fix problems. And I go to any length to fix problems, including stopping the construction of an airport in Mumbai because it's in the wrong place and it's for the wrong reasons, and stopping the overhead metro and pushing it underground for different reasons, and stopping the destruction of the beaches and the mangrove forest for different reasons. But it's just that I attract trouble wherever I go, and I enjoy it. I enjoy fixing problems. Do I make money? Jeff's laughing. He doesn't want to say anything. No comment, he says, right? Well, I can use an analogy here. You know, once there was a dog, a puppy dog, chasing his tail. And as he was going round, have you seen a puppy dog chase his tail? Huh? They go round and round in circles, right? So big German shepherd was walking past and he looked at him and said, "Sonny, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm chasing my tail." He said, "Yes, why are you doing such a stupid thing?" He said, "Well, you know, someone told me that success, wealth, happiness, all lies at the end of my tail. So I'm trying to catch it." So the big dog looked at him and said, "Son, you know, whoever told you that was absolutely right. Success, wealth, fame, fortune, all lies at the end of your tail. However, the more you try to catch it, the further it goes away. It eludes you. But if you do what I have done, put your nose in front and do what you have to do to the best of your ability, success, wealth, fame, fortune has no choice but to follow you wherever you go." So the moral of the story is, you do what you love to do and money will follow you. But you chase it, the more you chase it, the further away it goes from you. Sitting here and listening to formula is like sitting in a classroom and learning to swim. I could teach you the deep end of the pool lies here, the shallow end is there. Move your right arm forward, left arm backward, right leg forward, right leg backward. You think you learn to swim, Kavita? Don't do that. Don't even try jumping into the deep end. You'll sink. What do you have to do to learn to swim? Get into your swimming shorts, jump into the pool and try it. And then, after a couple of failures, you'll succeed. So becoming an unstoppable sales champion, you've just started the journey. You just learned a few tricks. You just heard a few of the fundas and a few of the myths busted and a few of the principles and a few of the fundas clarified. Now you got to go out there and
execute.
Just do it. Because you're only going to learn by failing. Because experience is the word men use to describe their failures. So I am well experienced in this business. Now you know why I failed. Because I've failed so many times before. It's the best teacher. When you succeed, you normally go out, buy a beer and celebrate, right? But when you fail, you sit out and say, why? Why the hell did this happen? And that's when learning takes place. So I believe that A, you got to go out and do it. B, you got to fail a couple of times if you want to be a champion. No champion ever got it right the first time. C, you got to be willing to learn from those failures. Then alone, you are on the route to becoming a champion salesperson. Okay? And I'll end like I normally end all my training programs with a little story. Do I have your permission? Okay. The little story is about an ornithologist. You know who an ornithologist is? A bird specialist. Yes, Birds, the winged variety, not the two-legged variety. Okay. The bird specialist, the ornithologist, he was driving through the countryside and he got a breakdown. And he stopped at a farmhouse and he went and asked the farmer for his toolkit. The farmer went in to get his toolkit, so he walked around the farm and he went to the chicken coop and he saw a strange sight. There in the chicken coop along with the chickens was a full-grown eagle pecking on chicken feed. So when the farmer came out, he said, what's an eagle doing in the chicken coop? He said, oh sir, you're absolutely mistaken. That is not an eagle, that's chicken. He said, my friend, I'm a PhD on birds. And you don't teach me the damn difference between an eagle and a chicken. I can tell you that that is an eagle. He said, no sir, you are mistaken. That is a chicken. She said, shall I prove that to you? He said, do so. So he said, what? He took the bird out of the coop and he threw him in the air.